There is no way I want to talk about this story that I will not talk about some things that I'm trying to want to keep away. And I wouldn't want to nail the cause. I wouldn't want to nail the judge. God sees my heart. I've made up my mind to put it behind me. And it's not about being defensive. Because even if I should say the whole thing I am going to say, those that will not believe me will not believe me. And I don't want to create enmity for no reasons. Telling stories from the beginning is just like opening my wounds. Because I don't want to break down. I just want to keep this spirit that I have being positive. So if I should start talking about the story from the beginning, because this lady I'm talking about, she's not a talking type. When we were together, she wasn't a fornicator. She doesn't do jazz. She was so calm. That's why it's going to be very hard for you to see her picture. No, I was in a relationship that was broken. See, my parents are from Christ Gospel Apostolic Church, and the issue of me being a celestial person, there's some things that didn't really allow the doctrine of my father to do in my own life. So that time it was the journey of me preparing for the new life. So the person I was with wasn't Christ minded. Our own life. I don't want to say some things. I don't want to say some things. There's some things that were not just supposed to. We just have to let go. Because I've realized that sometimes if you leave some people behind and you are better than them and they cannot explain how God is doing in your life, they want to do everything to pull you down. Just like when I came back, I said praying for everyone. And it's just like that. So I don't want to go back to it. But by the time when everything is done, I'll do heavy documentary that people will learn. There are so many stories I've got to tell people about what happened there. To warn people on nonchalant attitude. There are some things we do that we're not even counting. How can you just imagine allow somebody to come? Go. If somebody didn't tell you that it's coming to your house, don't let the person come to your house. If they get to the gate, make sure you screen the person before coming in. Because you never can tell. Maybe they monitor that guy to penetrate. Somebody gave someone alabuku. Just like a friend was having a headache. And he said, kilon sharing for it. Okay. Take alabuku. And the guy used the alabuku. Not after 10 minutes, the guy died. And they said he killed the guy. That guy is still crying till tomorrow. I'll tell you, when a small girl wants to hug you, just greet the baby from afar. Because there are a lot of old people who are there. You wouldn't know how they will use small girl to set someone up. And they say, Daddy, you I like how you carry the baby. And all of a sudden they take your picture. After they make a case out of it. And they will say, you have defiled the lady, the girl. And they know when it's a defilement or rape or anything, they won't grant bail. So many cases that we're not counting. So if anybody should ask you for drug, tell the person to go to the chemist. Don't say, I have that drug at home, I use it, it work. No way again. I now remember most times, I now realize why we travel abroad. And if they want to give you a drug, give it your brother, they say go to the hospital. Take it with a doctor's prescription, something like that. So there's some things we're not counting. Working late, having friends. A guy is there. When they arrested his friend, when the guy is out, he's going to be one of my people that work together, helping people when it comes to prison. He went to greet his friend. He left there. Just because they saw him that he entered the household. The friend committed. But he didn't know what his friend was doing. And this guy faced robbery case. He's been there for over 16 years now. He'll be coming out very soon. The friend told everybody, even when he got to the court, he said he was the only one that was doing robbery. And he just started. This friend knew nothing about it. They are there now. How about men that are there? That the wife will be happy that her husband is there. And the wife will be sponsoring how the man will not come out. because the woman probably is dating her husband's best friend. So many cases that should go into Nigerian movie, and anybody writing scripts will not know how to write it when we're not getting the result from the original um, speaker who has experienced it. So whatever they are shooting is just story they had from some people, not what they experienced. So I'm in a position to give so many stories about life, about people, encourage fathers how to take care of their children, give them attention, and spiritually, parents shouldn't be careless about their children. So a lot that happened.
How did your mom take all of this?
If not for the word of God, my mom would have been dead. I would have been dead.
Mm.
But you cannot shine more than the light that is available inside of you. Instead of my mom to feel bad, she started praising God. She started appreciating God. And she told them not to tell me that she was aware. Maybe I would have been dead by now because I love my mom so much. But for the fact that she was aware of the story from the beginning, even where we were coming up, everything like that. So my siblings didn't tell her, but some people told her. So she was just busy praying, and she told me categorically she was unable to visit me, but she said someone should come and see me and tell me the Bible says, many are the affliction of the righteous, but the Lord will deliver them in all. So when I came, she visited me, and yesterday we had small family get together thing for us to just eat together, rub minds together. And when I asked her to pray, she just started praying for that lady, and she just started praying for the judge and the prosecutor, because we grew up from Christ Gospel Apostolic Church, and that thing is still in us. That's a church that when you are sick, they say take water. But to the glory of God, she's okay.
What about your wife?
Oh my God! You know, I failed before in marriage. It was so tough. But sometimes, then when I was growing up, I was looking for a perfect lady that would understand the ministry. All this pre-cocoa lady that would be fasting, that would be praying. That's a story for another day. But sometimes that somebody's not wearing a ring does not mean the person loves God. God just blessed me with that lady. Let me tell you one shocking story that's going to be funny. I'm not going to skip this. I'll let you know. You know, when this case started in 2009, I was granted bail too, and I was in the prison. So the same judge didn't maybe sign or were unable to perfect the bail on time. So as I was in there, that's 2009, they granted my bail. The bail was not perfect on time, was not perfected on time. So before I came out of that place, the wife I married then, you know, it was because I got married. This saga started. So the lady, as I was in the prison, before coming out of the prison, she had packed her load and disappeared with my son. So sometimes when I'm skipping words, I'm trying to want to close my mind away from some stuff that's going to break me down. I don't want to be a product of pity. And I'm not saying this for anybody to pity me. It was actually my destiny and my journey. But trust me, I'm not someone who loves covering some things. I didn't mean we're not before the appeal court. I will have said so many things. Not going against government, but I will have said so many things. I will have opened up on so many things. So that lady, that was when she traveled. And I didn't see her again. Maybe it was because of the storm. And I never knew greater storms would come. But that little storm, before I came out of the prison, she took my baby. And good. Up till now, I didn't know where the baby is. I didn't know. And I didn't want to struggle for it. Because I know when time comes, the child will look for me. I don't want to be a pastor that will say everything is perfect with me. I want to tell people how many times I've failed. But sometimes God will allow the royal falling. Because falling is an accident, but staying on the floor is a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was when I decided to remarry, and I met my wife, and we started a new life. But I know someday, one day, I'm going to see my child. Because when the lady left, if anyone want to leave you, she will say stuff. But to the glory of God, instead of things to get worse, things are getting better. So I'm not going to blame her too. I'm not going to curse her too. Maybe if she's still in my life, the person that, because there was a day I was telling my wife, and my wife said, I shouldn't be blaming myself on my past. That if that person didn't go, where would she stay?
Yeah.
And it took many years. So it was after then I started traveling, preach all over the world and all that, but there's no place I've ever preached that I collected money from anyone. I preach and go my own way.
There are those who also feel that perhaps part of the challenge you have is that you are too simple, you are too nice to people,
Yes,
you are
sir.
too believing of people.
Yes, sir.
And people see you as just
You're very, very,
someone they can just.
you're very correct. Sir, I think what is affecting me is when God blesses you with what you're not expecting or what you never planned for or bargained for. It will amaze you, and sometimes maybe you're not going to value it. That's when I see people praising me or seeing me as one big person. I say, no, that's not me. In my house, before the issue started, I had over 11 children in my house going to school. I didn't know them. But some of them are in school now and they're in the university. I suffered a lot. I have to beg for food before eating. I have to beg for clothes. I mean, some people, but no, the clothes issue wasn't part of it. But I will have to go and pack remnants before I will eat. So sometimes when you put something huge before me, Uncle Shay, I'll just start crying. The first day I flew first class, I cried from Nigeria to London. Another day I flew first class to America, I cried. And they started coming to me, are you okay? Are you fine? Because I remember when I used to go to Afijalo. That was where they used to drop remnant from the plane. Afijalo, Oshodi. I grew up in Oshodi. So I will go and pack remnant, expired butter and all that. I will eat from it. I will still go to Junior Oladele to sell and bring the money back up. Then my mom was a pepper seller at Oladele post stop and a bure seller at Oladele bus stop. So sometimes I look at myself like, who am I? Let me just accept everyone. Let me show love to everybody. Not counting, but up to now, I don't think I'm going to change who I am. I don't want to be. I'm not going to be happy that this situation changed me to who God has not created me to be. I still want to be my person that is friendly, that is humble, that loves everybody. Because it's not been by my making that I've been surviving all the storms.
Yeah.
It's been through the grace of God. But by the time I now start acting on my own wisdom, I start working on my own wisdom now. What if God backs out and God will say, okay, start working on your wisdom? And Bible says wisdom is the principal thing. In thy getting, get understanding. I think a lot of people took me for granted. If I happen to be a spiritual, it's a wicked-minded spiritual person, I will have prayed against, this person should run mad. This person should die. This person should... What? How will I know if I was actually praying against my helper? If not for Goliath, who would have known David? If not for Judas, who would have known Jesus? So, all to the glory of God.
I noticed that on social media, there were a lot of people who still kept on posting your photograph, talking about you and all of that throughout the period. How did you take all of that?
Yeah, it was when I came out I started seeing all that. Because there was no way I could see all that there. But, when you hand over, God will take over. I handed over. They took me to one of the maybe 7-star hotel in Lagos State. I got to the hotel. Very popular hotel in Lagos State. Very expensive. And when I moved into the hotel, the first set of people I saw at the entrance, rich people, good people. Wow, Genesis, thank God for you. You are bad. And they started crying, they started praying for me. I didn't know them. And they mentioned their churches. They're not a member of White Garment Church. I didn't even know them. So there was a party there, and they invited me. That one woman was actually having her birthday, 65 birthday. I said, I was wearing ordinary slippers and jeans and shirts. They said, come inside. When the woman saw me, say, wow, that God really confirmed their birthday. That she's been looking for a way to see me in her life. And I just came in here and they started spraying me money. So when I saw the video on Insta blog or something, or to the end note, somebody now told me that you had welcome party. I said I didn't do any party now. So they now started spraying me, they started crying, they started praying for me. And that was when I now said I return all the glory back to God. So a lot of people using my pictures, a lot of people, they must have gotten a kind of conviction. They must have gotten something inside of them. So apart from you being a pastor or you being a church leader, you have instincts. When you see someone, your spirit will say, no, this is not what they're saying. And anybody that, if you are able to read a report from Alagmo, there will be a questioning between the police and the judiciary, the court. So I'm still appreciating God for that, and I'm still returning the glory back to God.
How did you also take, were you disappointed that those who felt should have
stood in the gap for me?
Yes.
Yeah, God just used that to reveal people to me. Don't take some people as your pillar. Don't take some people as your defenders. Don't say some people are connected and they will stand for you in time of storm. Storms will make you, such situation will make you know yourself, know God, and know people more. But I don't want to talk about them. All I am going to say about them, God didn't want people to take his glory. All those powerful people, all the people, to the glory of God, I'm not blabbing, I am well connected. But God allowed them not to do anything for him to do everything. Because if they had done it, maybe we would have given the glory to them. During my birthday, I came back, I met a 2001 Land Cruiser Prado, which I never prayed for, which I was not even thinking about. The family that bought me that car in their life, they've never given me 100,000 before. And I asked them, why? Brand new car. The man said he was angry. The family said they were angry in their spirit, that they know 11 million cannot hold me down. That apart from them, just for me to just call one or two people, or the church, our church should be able to do that under 24 hours. That they were angry, and all their mission was, if I am going to leave that place back home, I have to use a brand new car. Like what happened to Jesus when Jesus moved to Galilee, walked into Galilee with a donkey. No one has ever touched that. The family decided to get me. Where will I see the money now? Because everything people are blessing me with goes to the ministry straight. You know, some people like saying, okay, we bless the church. We want to contribute to the building of the church, not giving to me personally. So, and when they are blessing the church, I think they are blessing, but it's not my duty to spend church money or church sites. It's not my own money. So when you dash me, I help people. So when they now give me that car, and I came in, when I saw the car, I just glorified God. But above all, my wife was actually there. She comes to that place almost every day. And Papa, just like going through fire every day. Every day. I mean, I don't want to know. So I've been able to picture when that thing happened for a month, that the name wasn't as big as this. Somebody left before I came out. And now that the name is, to the glory of God, big, and this case actually happens to be a mega story all over the world. And I value her more, I respect her more, I celebrate her more. That she's a woman.
There's also something I want you to clear. Even before the case, there was so much talk about you and the Celestial Church. Oh, they've suspended you. Oh, they've done this. Oh, they've done that. Oh, you've left the church. All sorts. Of course, you didn't say anything at that time, and you just left it to the realm of everybody interpreting it one way or the other. How do
I
you
didn't
see
talk about it because my pastor is there and my counselor and my advisor is there. The other time I come and say, see me, oh. He said, don't say anything, just leave them. This man really helped me. I'm not going to talk about my graduating, the way I graduated from the school of ignore or ignoring without him. That thing was heavy in my heart just because some people started twisting my sermon, twisting the way I was preaching newness of glory, transformation, and all that, entrepreneurship. But to the glory of God, I believe God allowed all that to happen for my good. There was a sermon, some of them would go to my YouTube channel, go to my Facebook, cut some of the things. Like, okay, there was a day I preached that, how will you not take care of your parents and you bring the money to church? I was talking to my members, not to anybody. There was a time I was preaching that we should grow spiritually, not waiting on all of us will handle eggs and go to one junction and go and break eggs. That now we're 5,000 as at that time that I was having that program. If 5,000 people should now take eggs to one junction, we have killed 5,000 chickens. That should be enough for us to start a poultry. And they cut the video, they started attacking me. Alhaji was when they came to the church. My own life is different from anybody's life. The way I want to win souls for Christ is different from the way I want everybody to believe. If you want to come to church to worship, come and worship. It is just your desire. It was Alhaji was when as a Muslim that should say he wouldn't like to go to church.
Yeah.
And when relationship is there, cultural values, we have it. How can someone who's older than me, I met somewhere and he was singing and he said, Genesis, I'm coming to your church. I will come and sing to praise God. And I'm going to sing Christian songs with my Fuji music. Maybe it was bad that I did it, I wouldn't know. But the life I live is different from the way others, So when he came to the church, oh my God, it was another thing. He came, he knelt down, he bowed down before the altar and praised God, and he started singing. And all the songs he sang, all his instrumentalists are from different churches. And it was Christian, but I'm not sure if what I did was actually right
or wrong.
But I had conviction inside of me that I have not done anything wrong. Because from the beginning when I was a child, my mother liked Oladele. Not because she goes to Fuji party, but because my mother loves praying for other people's children who are doing well. So when we had our small television, if Alhaji was in the television singing Talaso Disco, Odun Latijo, and Tala 84. You know his name is Wasil. My own Muslim name too is Wasil. So my mother will now put her hand on the TV praying for Alhaji Waswaindi. We are Muslims, so Christian. I don't know why many Christians are so rigid and they are acting as if they are the PA to Almighty God or they are the secretary to God. So since that time, that love started growing. Anywhere I see Alhaji Waswaindi, I prostrate, I greet him as a father, as a very big uncle. Until tomorrow, no pastor can preach against it that I love Waswaindi. You can't change my mind. And you can't tell me not to love you. I don't go to parties to start, but I can't see him and ignore him. I can't see him and disrespect him. I can't see him and say, because I'm a Christian. Does that mean all the Muslims in my family, so if they should come to our church, I should drive them away? And he left. That was when the saga started. When Otumba Gani Adams came to our church, it was another trouble. God gave me prophecy for him. I was just sitting down, just like the day I was talking, I said, Media House was interviewing me. I said, a time is coming, you're going to have your cable TV. And it happened, not that I gave them something to watch their head. When you speak the mind of God as a prophet, God can send you to anybody. God can send you to anybody. Kings in the Bible, many of them were idol worshippers, and God sent prophets to them. So when I had a book launch, Sheraton Hotel, and Otumba Gani Adams came. And when he came, he donated money then, 500,000. And I went back to his office to visit him, appreciate him. And that was all. And we prayed. And Holy Spirit told me, office is coming for him in Yoruba land that is going to be very heavy, and he will imagine how God will do that in his life. That the way he will get there, I can't explain, but he will get there. It was after 3 years he now called me on phone and said, man of God. No, he asked us, what are we supposed to do? I said, no, nothing. Because when God is not telling me to tell him to do nothing, why would I do that? He now called, he said they called him that blah 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 about Areno Kakanfo. I didn't know anything about Areno Kakanfo because I thought then I realized MKO Abiola was a former Areno Kakanfo. So when he told me about Areno Kakanfo, I thought it was chieftaincy title for rich people or someone that is rich. I never knew it was for war or something like that, or juju or anything. I don't know anything about it. So he now called me, said they nominated his name and blah blah, that if God should do it, that it happens to be the smallest among the people they nominated, that if God should do it, he now said he will call me back. That if that was what God told me, but that thing in Yoruba land was not supposed to be given to someone of his age. So I said, let the will of God be done. God is not a liar. He has never stepped into our church before. I've never stepped into his house apart from that first day and the second time I saw him. That was all. So when that thing now happened, he now said he wanted to keep to his promise. That what he told God, that if that thing should happen, he will come to the church. That there are a lot of churches, big churches outside though, that as Areno Kakanfo, he was meant to go to mosque and go to church. But he has made up his mind that not minding the distance of our church, he will come there and roll on the floor. And that was what he did. Even when he donated 500,000, I said, this money is not for me. I will give it to people. And I used to buy sutana for people. And that was all. He rolled on the floor. That was all. How would someone say how would someone to come and roll to appreciate his God? And I will say, don't come home.
Don't come on, don't roll.
Who don't roll? No relationship more than that. And he appreciated me. That was all. Areno Kakanfo had a program, Christmas Carol. How will Areno Kakanfo decide to have Christmas Carol? That means this man is thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
And you're not there to know how God is using him to bring people together without discriminating. He didn't say, come there and without start shooting you so that we know whether gun will penetrate. Me, as a pastor, I can't wait for AK-47. Talk less of saying if they should shoot me, it won't enter. I'm not OPC. I don't have any juju that will prevent gun. What will I even go and face AK-47 for? So that was when they started. Our people, our celestial people. But I don't want to believe they don't like me. I believe they love me so much that they are trying to teach me to be careful, not to make some mistakes. Because it is better to be corrected than to be ignored. So I'm not seeing any fault in what they've done. And I've not declared myself leaving Celestial Church. And Celestial Church does not belong to anyone. They call it Celestial Church of Christ, not Celestial Church of anybody. So nobody can send me out of Celestial. It's not possible. Only if God asks me, leave this church today, I won't leave. I will leave. But if human being says, leave our church, then the world will know I'm a lion-hearted person. And if you don't have a lion heart, you cannot take your lion share. Nobody invited me there. Nobody established me there. Nobody can send me out of there. Nobody.
What's your message to all your church members, fans, followers all over the world now?
Non-church members, Muslims and Christian brothers. Because I saw many videos when I came out. I saw a lot of Muslim brothers praying for me that I didn't know. One of them actually happens to be a brother to me. His name is Amiolong. Was actually praying, having revival, having vigil to all mothers, to all Christian brothers, to non-Celestians, to Celestians. I want to say thank you. I want to appreciate them. I want to appreciate even my haters. My haters are not my haters. They were my helpers. They announced the glory more. And some of them are now turning back. Some of the people that lied against me, like 2-3 days ago now, they've started fighting each other. There was one I watched yesterday, and the other one started exposing. Shebi, you are the one that said I should lie against him. It's on the video. It's on YouTube, Facebook since last night. one lady and another lady like that. Shebi, you are the one that said I should pick one picture from his church and lie against him that he raped that person. Shebi, you are the one that one was even saying they actually sent people to go and put fire on our church because she said she announced that why can't Nigerian youth go and burn the church down, and they arranged that people should go and do that so that Nigerians will believe Nigerian youth did it. But the people they sent were unable to penetrate. So since last night, we have been watching another part of movie in life that I realized when God turns things around, He will make your enemies face each other after this. But this lady, I was like, what? Because this was the person that started on Facebook. Now I will tell you how to watch it. You will see by yourself. You said I should do this to Genesis. You said I should do this to Genesis because you said because you were unable to sleep with Genesis. Genesis didn't allow you to sleep with him. He must die. I was watching yesterday. It was as if I was looking at a movie, and they started again today, bringing facts, bringing charts, bringing how they arranged it, bringing that it can only be God. I have never watched that in movie before. I've been hearing about it, but this one that I saw, that I started seeing since last night. I have some other cases in court with some other ladies like that. Some people I've never met in my life. There's one lady called Formula One. I've never seen her in my life. We just picked her audio from the Facebook where she was telling someone that she came to my church, to our church, and I gave her, and she told me she wanted to sell a house, and I said I will help her sell the house, but somebody will have to sleep with her before selling the house. Someone I've never met in my life, that she paid 3 million to church account. If those people are not in Nigeria, we wouldn't have been able to arrest them. It was one artist that said, Baba, I had a lady talking about you, but the voice of that person should be Formula One. An artist. I've never, and I've been trying all my best not to set my eyes on her, but the case is on. Because I reported to the Interpol and they started the case. I've never used police to threaten anybody, to frustrate anybody in my life, but I've never seen her in my life. I just want to ask, have you seen me in my life? And she said she came to our church and we sat together. Nobody will hear that online that will not curse me. Nobody will hear that online that will not judge and say, this guy is not a small girl. If it didn't happen. But to the glory of God, when they investigated, there was no account of Genesis that she paid 3 million to. And she was doing that so that the blogger she was conniving with would give her money for house rent. So they will now pity her to give her money. So we have a lot of blackmailers everywhere. This social media thing is something else. If not for the grace of God, I will have been dead by now, or I will have been pushed to begin to defend myself, if not for my friend. I'll just see the video and say, no, it's a lie, I didn't know anything. No. So we have things like that online, and I bless God for his mercy.